In the first Vatican Lost Tapes, you witnessed forbidden footage, images the church never wanted the world to see. Old VHS recordings, secret rituals, disturbing exorcisms hidden for decades in the Vatican archives.
Exorcizamus te omnia immundus spiritus.
That was only the beginning. What you saw was just the surface of a darker truth. Today, in part 2, we open new files. Cases of possession so terrifying, they were buried in secrecy.
Sanctus Dominus Deus Sabaoth, plenis sunt caeli et terra gloria tua.
Some are based on documented history, others on testimonies erased from official records. And one case was never supposed to exist at all. Prepare yourself. These are the Vatican Lost Tapes, Part 2.
Et cognoscetis veritatem, et veritam liberabit vos.
Our first case takes us back to the United States in 1928. It is the story of Emma Schmidt, remembered as Anna Ecklund. What happened to her became one of the most brutal exorcisms in American history.
United States, 1928. Her name was Emma Schmidt, though history would remember her as Anna Ecklund, a young woman of 26 raised in a devout Catholic family of German immigrants. Photographs from the time show a pale, thin face, framed by dark hair, eyes tired far beyond her years. A woman marked by something she could not escape. Her neighbors described her as withdrawn, often ill, yet with moments of sudden, violent temper that terrified even her closest relatives. Her story began long before the famous exorcism. As a teenager, Emma recoiled at the sight of holy objects. She could not step inside a church without fainting. She screamed at priests, spat at crucifixes, and claimed invisible hands touched her at night. Physicians of the time spoke of hysteria, but to the clergy, this was no illness. It was infestation. By 1928, her condition escalated into convulsions, violent contortions, guttural voices, and foreign tongues. And vomiting of debris no one could explain. The church authorized a full exorcism, entrusting the task to Father Theophilus Reisinger. What followed over 23 harrowing days would be remembered as one of the most brutal exorcisms in American history. Witnesses saw Anna levitate. They saw her body stretch beyond human limits. She howled blasphemies, accused priests of sins only they could know. On her skin appeared the names of Judas and Beelzebub. For weeks, she resisted every sacramental word. At last, after a final shriek echoing through the convent, Anna collapsed, whispering, "My Jesus, mercy." The priest declared her delivered, but the Vatican locked away the full accounts and the recordings, records that should never have left the archives.
One of those recordings has now been recovered in film stock to witness what Father Reisinger have seen with his own eyes. What you have just witnessed was one of the darkest exorcisms ever recorded. And yet, many believe the full truth about Emma Schmidt remains buried in Vatican archives to this day.
Subscribe to Toxik TV, or the devil will come for you!
Our second case takes us to Romania. In the year 2005, her name was Maricica Irina Cornici. Just 23 years old, an orphan searching for peace in a monastery. But instead of peace, she found terror, horror, and demons. What followed was one of the most tragic exorcisms of modern time, ending in her death.
Romania, 2005. Her name was Maricica Irina Cornici, 23 years old, an orphan raised in foster care. Described as quiet but troubled, with moments of deep melancholy. Friends said she often spoke of hearing voices, of shadows at the edge of her vision. When she entered the Tanacu monastery as a novice, she sought peace and belonging, but what awaited her was terror. Irina began to laugh uncontrollably during prayers. She refused food and claimed demons were clawing at her from within. Her sisters restrained her when she screamed blasphemies in the chapel, her thin body shaking violently. To the priest, Daniel Corigiano, it was clear she was possessed. Bound to a wooden cross, she endured days of chanting, sprinklings of holy water, and anointing with sacred oil. Witnesses say her screams turned to guttural growls, her eyes rolled white, and she spat at the crucifix. For 3 days, she remained tied in this state, weakened by fasting and prayer. When she was finally released, her body collapsed. She was taken to a hospital, injected with adrenaline to revive her. Instead, she died. Official reports blame dehydration, exhaustion, and malpractice. The priest and nuns were sentenced to prison. Yet many in the village still whisper that Irina was not a victim of men, but of something darker.
Fragments of footage from inside Tanacu were hidden, but one copy survived. You are about to see the last images of Sister Irina Cornici, moments before her death.
Ieși afară din trupul ăsta. Te some să pleci în numele lui Iisus Hristos.
Święty Michale Archaniele, broń nas w walce.
Festa, demonii,
Broń nas w walce przeciw niegodziwości i zasadzkom złego ducha. Bądź naszą obroną. Niech go Bóg pogromi, pokornie o to prosimy. A ty, wodzu niebieski...
Preotul ortodox Daniel Corogianu a fost găsit vinovat de moartea tinerei Maricica Irina Cornici după un exorcism ilegal.
Subscribe to Toxik TV, or join hell with me!
Our third case takes us to Poland in the year 1987. Inside the Jasmagura monastery, there was a woman known only as Sister Helena. One winter evening, she stopped eating. She survived only on holy water. From her locked cell came voices, deep male voices. The other sisters heard them, but no one else was there.
Poland, 1987. In the cloistered halls of the Jasna Monastery, she was known only as Sister Helena. 31 years old, slender, her face pale as parchment, her eyes intense yet distant. To the sisters around her, she was both devout and fragile, often found praying alone long after midnight. Some claim she barely slept. Others swore they heard her speaking to someone unseen. One winter evening, she stopped eating altogether, drinking only holy water. Soon after, deep male voices echoed from behind her locked cell. The sisters knocked, but Helena only replied in whispers that chilled their blood. When Vatican envoys arrived, they brought relics and a camera. The footage shows her eyes turning completely white. She sang a psalm backwards in a voice too low for her frame. The crucifix on the wall shook as if struck by unseen hands. Then, she laughed. In the final seconds, a hooded figure enters the cell, blows out the candle, and the screen goes black. Days later, her name was erased from every convent record. It was as if Sister Helena had never existed.
That footage survived, and now you will see it exactly as it was supposed to be seen.
Ecco il primo giorno del esercizio fatto dal Vaticano su Elena. Bisogna mettere la camera in visione notturna.
Nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti.
Qual è il tuo nome, demone? Dici il tuo nome.
3 cases of possession, 3 stories buried by the Vatican. But this is not the end. There are still more tapes, more files locked away in the archives, and what's on them is even more disturbing. The Vatican Lost Tapes, Part 3. You will find it nowhere else, only on Toxik TV, if you dare to return. Thanks for watching. I'm Gene Anderson, and you are on Toxik TV channel. Get scared, or be squared.
Subscribe to Toxik TV, or I will haunt your nights.